Hi all, Phil Muir here again from PJ Muir Productions, and for today's video I thought we'd take a little bit more of a slightly more in-depth look at mastering and just show you one of the final processes that I personally use before kind of signing off a project, as it were. So one of the things I like to do is kind of go through the tracks and make sure everything is matching EQ wise. Obviously I'll have done that by this stage. But as part of the final process, what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll listen to everything and make sure that no track is sort of too loud or louder than the next one or too quiet or whatever. And sometimes you have to kind of adjust, you know, a clip or whatever just to make it slightly louder. I've done that before, had to do that. But anyway, let's look at this album. So this is the album Homegrown, which I mixed everything on apart from the track I'm Leaving. But I did master the album entirely. And it was produced by Dave Molloy, and Dave did the mix of I'm Leaving. So here we are. I'm going to just play the start of this. This is the actual title track, Homegrown, and the artist in question is Terry Conlon. Terry's playing acoustic guitar on this, and he's also doing the main vocal. So here he is, sat on his lawn, enjoying playing the guitar in the sunshine. That's the kind of idea of the vibe of this. Someone else coming up to the house, I guess, in the car. So the band will kick in a minute. And then what we'll do is we'll jump to the peak of this track. And this actually was the track that I decided was going to be the loudest track on the album. Okay, so now on to Don't Lead Me On. This was out as a single a while back. Let's go to the peak of this one.
And to help you sleep alright. Why? If you didn't even want me. No.
So if I just pause that a second, and if I just play it in a second, and then I'll jump back to the previous track, and hopefully what you'll see is that there's no kind of real level jump, as it were. So as you can see, it kind of matches. Okay, let's move on then. This is Start Again. Let's go to the peak of this one.
Whoa! We would wake up cold in the morning.
Okay, I'm Leaving. I had to EQ this one a little bit differently because I didn't mix it, so that was fine. Let's go to the peak of that one.
Oh, I'm leaving. Yes, I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm bleeding. I just need to get out of here. Tears streaming.
Okay, this is The Old Days. Let's go to the peak of that one.
Back to the old days.
If we pause that and go back to I'm Leaving.
Oh, I'm leaving. Yes, I'm leaving. Yeah.
You get the idea.
Back to the old days.
Now this is the Plough Among the Stars, and this presented some unique challenges because this has real strings on it, double bass, and yeah, it's a very different sort of track, but we still managed to get it to match EQ wise. Let's just show you a bit of that further on.
Your heart. Remember when I showed you the plough among the stars? Remember when I held you?
Okay, let's go back again.
Back to the old days.
And forward again.
Your heart. Remember when I showed you?
Okay, next. Reminisce, this is called. Go to the peak.
Yeah, well, if I have nothing, at least I can reminisce.
Let me love you. Okay, let's go to the peak of Let Me Love You.
Oh. So many reasons to want you. So many times you stopped me in my tracks.
When You're With Me. Let's go to the peak of When You're With Me.
Oh, 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 when you're with me. When you're with me, you're all that I see. Yeah. When you're with me, right where I wanna be. When you're with me, yeah. No place
Okay. Empty Home, which is the final track on here. I'm just going to pause this a second. Now, Empty Home, you will hear in a second, has a different bass guitar. Some of these tracks do have different bass guitars, but again, you know, with a little bit of careful use of the mastering EQ, I was able to get those to match. So on this one we have a P bass. I'm not sure what they used on some of the other ones, but this is definitely a P bass, and it's played by Ronnie. But some of the other bass work was done by somebody else on this album. And yeah, so what I'll do, I'll let you hear a little bit of that, and then I might just skip back and then come back to this one. Let's go back.
Oh, 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 when you're with me. When you're with me, you're all that I.
Let's go forward. So obviously what I did there was I landed on the peak of Empty Home. Anyway, that's the final track on here. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a flavour of the kind of process that I work through. And hopefully what you could see there is that none of the tracks were kind of jumping out level-wise. So everything was matching up quite nicely. Even though, you know, I'm Leaving is quite a different EQ from, say, When You're With Me or The Plough Among the Stars, which is a different one again, because The Plough Among the Stars, there was real strings and, you know, piano on that and so on. So I had to treat that one a little bit differently again. So that's hopefully giving you a flavour of what I do. Anyway, thanks for watching this, and you can as always find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Muir's, my website filmmuir.com, or you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hope to see you soon.